And we are live. We want the gold, sucker. We want the gold, sucker. Yo. What is up, everybody? I'm your boy, Ben Goose, and along here with my boy, my partner in crime. We've had a long week, Sage Mark. What up, Sage?
What a do?
I'm doing good, man. So let's get into it.
Yeah,
I saw you on Sunday. I'm not going to lie. I had a weekend that it wasn't the best weekend in old Uncle Ben Goosen's life. I definitely don't want to relive this past weekend, with the exception of Sunday night. Can I just chime in? Let me just say something first. This was the highlight of Ben Goosen's week. Yeah, this is the highlight. You ready? I saw Sage the Mark at the Royal Rumble party that we have every year. But I didn't just see Sage the Mark. I saw a man do two things. I saw a man do an amazing job at stepping the game up and doing the Royal Rumble pot. So I got to thank you for that. Hats off. Kudos to you. That was huge. And it ended up with the randomizer. It ended up being extremely important. What up, Silky Mel Johnson? Joining the chat. Letting the soul glow. But the Royal Rumble part, you did a good job. But bro, I saw you. I never realized how much your stomach can entail, because I saw you eat 2 double burgers in like 10 minutes.
Bro, I ate 3 double burgers in 10 minutes, bro.
And I saw you eat, because that's where I messed up. I didn't eat very much. So that day when me and you were sitting down kind of chilling, having a cold one and just grabbing a quick bite, I had like just a single patty burger, and that's all I ate for the entire day. Boy, your boy Ben Goosen was not feeling very good the next morning. I was hurting very bad the next morning.
Oh man!
But I'll tell you, man, I should have ate more. There were tons of food. So what'd you think of the Royal Rumble this year? Let's get into that real quick.
Oh man, dude, I thought it was one of the best Royal Rumbles that we've seen in at least the last 5 to 6 years, man. And we polled, I should say, the community, and the 77% of them said the same thing, that they felt like this was the best Royal Rumble in the last 7 years. I know that there were little gripes about the women going on last and the men coming in the middle, and I know that we'll touch base on that a bit, but it was very memorable, man. That you had the great legends like Beth Phoenix and the Hurricane coming out, and you had the greatness of Heath Slater, and it's like they told a story in the Royal Rumble, which was like truly amazing. I enjoyed it, man. What about you?
I thought it was good. The story that you mentioned it's kind of like it was a 30 chapter story, but me and you missed chapters 26, 27, 28, 29, and we got straight to chapter 30. So our network went down. And yeah, there was no pyro. Shout outs to Mel Johnson. And no pyro. They're not doing pyro for the big shows, but yeah, the network went down for Sage and I and the crew of about 25 of our friends. Or I shouldn't say 25 of our friends, 25 people that showed up. Good 25-man group. And yeah, the network went down. Unfortunately, it froze during the Rumble, so we didn't get to see Seth Rollins or Finn Balor eliminated. But this was during the middle of the Rumble, so we restarted
it. Goldust or Ziggler, bro. I didn't even know Ziggler I didn't even know Ziggler was in the Rumble, bruh. And I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
me
even know
neither.
how I feel about
Or
that. And
at least we didn't miss
every-
anything because what basically happened is the Rumble, the app froze, and then when we restarted it, I think it was just Shinsuke, Cena, and Reigns in the ring, right?
yeah, yes,
Yeah,
and I think they had just thrown out, like just barely just thrown
Balor.
out Finn Balor. Yeah.
So the Rumble itself was entertaining, and for those of y'all listening, we do a Royal Rumble pot, and basically you get 2 to 3 numbers, and whatever wrestlers come out for those numbers, that's your guy to win. And if they win, you get the pot of money. So unfortunately, your boy Ben Goosen had the bar, both of them, which is almost impossible to have both tag team guys. And I had Jinder Mahal. Do you remember who you had?
I had Titus O'Neil, Bray Wyatt, and who was that third one? I had someone in the later rounds. Who came in before?
I won't be
Who
able to
came in
tell you.
right after Rey Mysterio, bro?
It was nice seeing Rey Mysterio. I don't remember. I just know you and I
Yeah,
lost
big
the
time,
pot
bro.
for sure. So, but I got to give props to you, man. You handled it, and you were getting yelled at all night.
Yep.
Hey, what numbers? Who's this coming out next? Who's this coming out next? What number is it? And I got to say, I certainly appreciate it. It's something that you and I have kind of been doing for the past 8, 9 years. So, with the exception of last year when we went to the Rumble, but I thought the Royal Rumble was overall good. Uh, I think, I think, and yes, your boy called it on the podcast. I said it's going to be AJ Styles, Nakamura, with Nakamura and Reigns as the final two for a long time. Nakamura got the dub, but it was good. I think seeing Rey Mysterio back, and he looked like he was in great shape. By the way, he looked phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, I'm surprised we didn't see him on 205 Live or SmackDown this week.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be the 205 Live general manager, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we got Spud, bruh. Rockstar Spud.
We'll get into that in a bit because I have no idea who that guy is. So,
yeah, we are, man. Because I literally wanted to name the show 205 Impact, just
no
because
joke.
like this is just a revamp. Like this roster is like seriously just the overhaul of TNA on just a bigger production scale, bro. We got the Hardys, we got Bobby Roode, we've got Samoa Joe, AJ
Double A was there for a
Styles,
while.
Double A. Uh I mean we getting them, bro. We got EC3 now. I know he made his appearance on Saturday at
Eric Young,
NXT.
yeah.
Got Eric Young. I mean, this is like the good old TNA. This is when TNA was great.
Yeah, I agree that we got all the elites. But yeah, I thought this weekend was good in wrestling. NXT, it didn't wow me too much. I didn't get a chance to watch the main event, but I know what happened and we predicted it last week. Velveteen Dream, I'm sorry that your match wasn't all too great, but just
Bruh, I marked the hell out in that entire match, man. Despite
was
all the botches,
the
and stuff.
botches.
Yeah, the botches are on. Just like he was just he was playing Apollo Crews. I mean Apollo Creed, bruh. He was acting like Apollo Creed for Rocky 2,
Oh, it
bruh.
was
Just
great.
it was just awesome, bro.
I love the
Even
knockout
at the end,
segment.
he tried to knock him out, bro.
Yeah, I love the knockout segment. I think overall, I'd give it a successful rating. I think, and this is sad. When you and I we watched the entire Royal Rumble pay per view. Do you remember the one match that we did not pay attention to at all? I might not have paid attention because I was walking around talking, hanging out with the fellas the whole time. But do you remember at all watching the Braun Strowman Kane Brock Lesnar
Nope.
match?
No, I mean, I went back to watch it and I fell asleep.
Yep.
I mean, it was terrible, man. It was
So
so predictable.
there was 20 plus of us, and we were all sitting there. And once that match started, all of us were like, "All right, Kane's getting pinned by Brock. You want to go grab a burger? You want to grab a hot dog? You want to grab some food? All right, cool." So we all knew it. I think the thing that caught me off guard, and you called it last week, was the Usos sweep.
Yeah.
That caught me. So I'm not gonna lie. The Usos picked up the first win in 2 out of 3 falls, and then I stopped paying attention a little bit because I thought, all right, it's just a matter of time. I'm gonna go grab a cold one or grab a snack or something real quick, and it'll be 1-1 because all these 2 out of 3 falls matches always go to the third fall. No, the roll up. I thought that was a great ending to a great match.
I felt like the match was called early. Like for some reason, I felt like it could have been longer, but for whatever reason, it got shortened. I don't think that the original, even though I called it, I don't think that the original plan was to. Um,
You don't think it was just that way to throw you off? Because
no, I don't, man. Like it just seemed unnatural. Like not like Brock Lesnar unnatural, like when he had that match with Randy Orton and it just ended abruptly. But it just felt that they were either behind schedule or that I don't know, maybe they were stalling for Rousey to
oh,
get there or something. I don't know what it was, but it just seemed like it was just off pace. Um, and I don't know, it just didn't seem natural to me, man.
yeah, I agree. It we'll see how it ends up. I think that there's a lot of talent out there for the new day for the Usos to fight.
Yep.
They've cleared out the division by far. So and
Locked
a lot,
down.
a lot of yeah,
We got the
a lot,
graphic.
a lot of talk about the AOP getting the call up just because they took the L this weekend. So do you want to get into Raw? Because guess what? I really it's call me a bad fan. This is sad because I have a podcast about wrestling, and I really didn't watch very much wrestling this week. I didn't take time off. It's just had some stuff going on in the personal life. I'll even to the listeners. I appreciate y'all listening, so I'll divulge. Your boy Ben Goosen was driving to Toys R Us this weekend, and a person thought that red lights don't matter, and went ahead and decided to hit old Uncle Ben Goosen. And I'll tell all you cats that went for airbags. Ben Goosen might be taking a couple weeks off the podcast. Roughed me up a bit. I was all right. No big deal, right? Car's not okay. I'll tell you that right now. But I've been busy since Saturday trying to figure out car this, insurance that, this and that, and this and that, and this and that. Had a little limp. Some people would call it a limp. Had a little limp at the Royal Rumble festivities we went to, but I just called it my G swag, my pimp walk. Yeah. The knee and the shin weren't feeling too great, but hey, it's all good. Lose one leg, got the other right. So my weekend wasn't that great, so I was healing up. Went to bed early every day this week, so I didn't really get a chance to watch wrestling all too much. I did catch Raw, but I don't remember anything from it. What was the highlight of? You know what I do remember on Raw? I remember watching Braun Strowman tip over a portion of the stage on Kane, and you can see Kane as it's getting tipped, kind of position himself to not really take the table falling on him. So it was kind of like a David Blaine, Chris Angel card trick or something, where the camera doesn't cut quick enough. The camera doesn't cut quick enough, and they show him switching out the cards, or they show half of how the trick's being done. Other than that, I don't remember anything from. Well, we haven't covered Ronda Rousey, but so we'll get to that in a bit. Raw and SmackDown was kind of weak this week, huh?
No, I honestly, I guess I'm on the contrarian point of view. I actually thought that this was a really, really good Raw. I felt like it was stacked, like some of the matches that they had. They had John Cena versus Finn Balor, which was not one of John Cena's best matches, but it was still a good matchup nonetheless. There was a lot of qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber that's coming up at the end of the month. Then they had who was it? What else? Didn't Nia Jax fight somebody?
I don't
And then
remember anything from
um,
Saturday to
we had Asuka
Tuesday.
versus Sasha Banks, which that was like the match of the night.
Oscar versus did Oscar fight Sasha?
Yeah, Asuka and Sasha fought on Monday, and
Oh,
that match,
you know what?
Sasha,
I remember one part of
Asuka
that
saved her
match.
life. Yeah, Asuka saved her
Yeah,
life with that kick, bro.
I remember one part of that match, and that's the part of the match that I remember. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that I mean that match was clearly amazing, and we again saw our second shade in 2 nights of the boss actually returning. So I'm wondering if this is the year that we're gonna get Bailey and Sasha, the boss versus Sasha, or the boss versus Bailey at WrestleMania. So uh, don't know, but
But
then
we'll see. So, how was the rest of Raw? So, I remember Oscar versus Sasha. Now that I look back on it, just a great match. I
yeah,
didn't
amazing
watch
match.
I didn't watch the John Cena Finn Balor match. I don't remember much about any backstage segments. I know Rousey wasn't there.
No, Rousey wasn't
I
there, but they're making Asuka wait to pick her challenger again, and I've got a theory about that, and I feel like Asuka's going to get screwed out of her opportunity.
What's that
Um,
theory? I didn't watch any
so
wrestling, so I don't know what this is this week, or I don't remember much of wrestling. So
yeah,
fill
so
me in. What is your
Stephanie
theory?
and Asuka did a segment in which she told her, "Hey, you might want to wait until the elimination chamber to determine whether or not you're." Who you're going to take on for your opponent, because Alexa Bliss might not be the champion. Alexa Bliss is going in the elimination chamber, which they are going to have a women's elimination chamber. I'm sorry. Um, so she might not even be the champion. My thing is, if I know I know what they want to set up is a Ronda Rousey Charlotte kind of thing. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I've been doing some of the calculations, and this mixed match challenge might actually be like finished at WrestleMania itself. I don't see Asuka losing, which might set her up to fight against Ronda Rousey and The Rock, I guess, because that's the rumor that's going out is that they're trying to get The Rock to pair up with Ronda at WrestleMania.
Wait a minute. So who's Oscar teamed up with in the mix? I haven't watched any of that either.
She is mixed up with The Miz.
So Oscar and the Miz versus The Rock, and it would make sense because The Rock debuted, quote unquote, Ronda Rousey 2 years ago at the Royal Rumble or at WrestleMania. So, but why wouldn't you go Triple H and Stephanie versus The Rock and Ronda Rousey if you're going to do the mixed tag match?
I mean, I know that that's to continue the storyline from like 2 years ago. That's probably what you want to do, but I don't. I mean, I don't know, man. I think that the mixed martial arts, the MMC would play better for it because there's already a storyline there, or it's not really a storyline, but just there's already a pairing and already a gimmick for it. So you might as well just pair them up together and let them fight whoever the winner is out of the tournament. Um, which means that Asuka either fights twice in the night or she doesn't get her opportunity to fight at all, which that to me would be a big mistake as well. Um,
No, no, no. They'll definitely have Oscar in some
well,
sort of title fight.
the money is Asuka and Charlotte, but I just for some reason I just don't see that happening, and I don't see Ronda taking the belt off of Alexa either. I mean,
Right. That's the thing is there's now that Ronda's in the picture, Oscar can't fight Charlotte because I mean she might. It'd be a great match, but then who would Alexa fight? Nia Jax?
I mean, we don't. I mean, we won't know until they finish the elimination chamber because I mean that's where the title's going to be defended. And if there's a time to take the belt off of Sasha or off of Alexa, it would be it would be in the Elimination Chamber, which is about 5 weeks away from now.
Okay. Well, we'll see how the Elimination Chamber turns out.
Yep.
I like on SmackDown, the SmackDown side, I like that Daniel Bryan is creating a top 10 list. It's kind of like the UFC rankings that you've talked about a long time not being a huge fan of because
The
of,
ones that
you know,
don't
you
work?
might have yeah, where the number 8 guy fights the number 2 guy next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that because it's just provides a little something different in regards to who's going to get a title shot. So I think that that's pretty cool. I don't know who's in their top 10 or whatever, but I think that was pretty neat. Anything else on SmackDown or Raw this week that we missed?
You know, it looks like that they're trying to tease a dissension between KO um and Sami Zayn, which is pretty interesting. Um, it looks like they're gonna make Sami Zayn the full heel and turn Kevin Owens. I mean, that's the way that appears to be going down. The tag team division right now is kind of weird.
Usos beating everybody.
Well, they beat everybody except for the Bludgeon Brothers, and the Bludgeon Brothers came down during their promo, and they none of which acknowledged each other. Um, so I don't know if that was just some kind of like they were trying to test the waters with Philly to see if they would be over, or if it was just the Bludgeon Brothers just doesn't care. They don't care. Um, I will say that the Bludgeon Brothers debuted a new finisher, and then they immediately used their old finisher on the other jobber, which was kind of sucky. But
Yeah.
you know, and then we got Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger made he made his in-ring debut first for 2018, packed on some weight as well.
Nice.
He seems more of like a heavyweight contender than he does a mid-carder. So you know,
He probably lost though, right?
he did lose to Baron Corbin, which I don't get from that perspective, but oh well. We had a cash in, which was
Yeah. I
an
saw on YouTube.
attempted cash in. It didn't go well for Carmella. And I think that was and Biggie throwing them pancakes at Corey Graves, bro, was just classic, bro. That's pretty dope. And Rusev is fighting Bobby Roode next week for the U.S. title, which is pretty awesome too.
Dang. All right. So I got to get caught up and I got to tune into
It was
some
a pretty
SmackDown
good.
this week.
Yeah, it was a pretty good SmackDown. I mean, I enjoyed it. You know, it still shows that SmackDown is a more of a wrestling show than anything else. It's wrestling first and kind of storyline second. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that so far. Yeah, I mean that was pretty much it for SmackDown, man.
For Inside the Ring this week.
Yeah,
So
I did
anything.
want to ask you real quick though, man, on the Ronda Rousey. You know, I kind of felt, you know, personally that Asuka's moment was ruined at Royal Rumble. I guess I'm in that camp of her reign, or not her reign, but her accomplishment being kind of tarnished by Ronda Rousey coming out. I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on that.
I say tough shit. Get over it. That's exactly what I say. You know whose moment was ruined? Daniel Bryan when he won the championship and then he got pedigreed. And I want to say what Randy Orton cashed in Money in the Bank or something like that. It's entertainment. It happens. Anytime, if you're a pro wrestler, I don't care who you are. If a big name like Ronda Rousey is going to make their debut, sorry, you're getting shit on one way or another. It doesn't discredit that you won the title, that you won the first ever women's Royal Rumble, and not to take, you know, the race card or the gender card or anything like that, but you're a Japanese woman that won the first ever Royal Rumble, women's Royal Rumble. I thought that was an amazing thing. I know fanboys got pretty heated about it, saying, "Oh, it took from Asuka's moment." Yo, this is Asuka we're talking about. She's whooping ass left and right. She had her moment. She won the match. I personally I didn't see any issues
Had
with
a
it.
moment that lasted like 30 seconds, bruh. I don't know how Goose you could sit there and say tough cookies or tough titties, but you were appalled when Ellsworth uh helped Carmella win the money in the bank. How can you have it one way and not the other, man? You got to be consistent. Why aren't you consistent, Goose?
Because I think of because Ronda Rousey's the factor. Ellsworth is nowhere on the near level of star power as Ronda Rousey. Star power will always trump WWE people power. Always.
I don't know about that, man.
But I will say Ronda Rousey's quote unquote her debut was kind of stupid. I
Should have
mean,
been
I'm
on
cool.
Raw, bruh. It really should have been on Raw. It shouldn't have wasted it on the Smack. I mean, on a Royal Rumble where she didn't even speak.
Yeah, and she was giggling the whole time. You know what? Maybe it should have been at the Raw after Mania. Maybe don't rush her until to this Mania. But her debut was she walked out, she got in the ring, looked at the WrestleMania sign, pointed, laughed, and then walked out. And you're like, oh, I mean, it's cool that Ronda Rousey's a WWE wrestler now. That's awesome. But I didn't think it took away from Asuka's moment or anything because she won the
She's
match, so she had her moment, and she'll be fine.
she's gonna fight
And
Asuka, bro.
Rousey, I don't
Yeah,
think not in her first match.
she will fight. If she's gonna fight Asuka, not her first match, but she will fight her at Mania for the belt, bro. I think that's the safe bet because Asuka, out of all the women that are in the division, Asuka is like the AJ Styles in the sense that she can make the other person look very, very well in the ring, despite their how do you say experience. You know, we saw that in NXT with almost everybody on that women's roster that were just not great at the time. You know, Alexa Bliss wasn't really that great at the time, but she made her look like $1 million. What's her name? The one with the cat ears. Forgot her name. And Liv Morgan. They look like $1 million fighting Asuka compared to how they wrestle not fighting Asuka. Like, I think that's the safest bet. If you're going to have a good match with Ronda Rousey, you got to stick her with Asuka, man. I don't think Charlotte would be capable of it. I'm not
So you're saying
confident that
Charlotte can't carry somebody?
I don't think she can carry someone who's not experienced.
Ah, interesting. Okay, interesting point. So what else in this week of pro wrestling? I feel like it's kind of been a short week in pro wrestling.
Um, so I know there was a couple
We
of
have a
things.
new GM of 205 Live. That's
Yes, we
one.
do get.
Like some guy I have no clue who it is, but I'm interested.
Yeah, we got a Brit, which is pretty cool. You know, he well known in TNA as Rockstar Spud. I think his name now is like Drake Maverick. On there, he's kind of like that spunky county fair guy with the top hat that just has all that energy and is trying to get you to go to the different carny events and stuff like that. That's like how his mentality is, which I think is pretty awesome. He's setting up a tournament for the title belt, which I believe is going to last until WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. That's
Yep.
correct. Yeah.
Which is pretty cool because it's kind of, if you think about it, it's kind of mimicking the Cruiserweight Classic all the way through. So that should be pretty interesting. We'll have less storylines, which I know, Goose, you're not a fan of, but I do think that that's what really made the Cruiserweight Classic so great is it, you know, the in-ring stuff and not so much the shenanigans behind the scenes. So there's that. Let me see. TNA has decided to open an app for the Xbox One, so now we can watch all of their shows live, which
Oh,
I thought that
nice.
was a pretty interesting move considering.
Yeah, that's an app
I
I
don't have
won't be downloading.
Bro, if it's free, man.
Yeah, no
I mean,
kidding.
Austin Aries is the new champ there now, so man, I
Oh,
don't know.
jeez. Yeah.
He comes in one night, wipes the floor off of Eli Drake, and yeah, he becomes the new champ. Bobby Lashley no longer with TNA, but did not get the signee. I think he was the only one out of that group that didn't get the sign up for WWE, which I thought was kind of, I don't know. I don't think that they need him per se, but
No, but he'd be nice, and he'd be an opponent for Brock somewhere down the line.
yeah, I hope I hope Brock drops that title soon, man. I know he's not going to drop until Mania, but that belt is suffering so much with it being on his shoulders. It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. So, okay, we've kind of covered Raw, SmackDown, Royal Rumble. So I want to kind of, if you can give me a couple matches here. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that many. It could be as many as you want. Predict me some WrestleMania matches. So you mentioned a couple times about matches you want to see at Mania.
Yep.
So talk to me. Just give me your, I don't know, 6 matches on that you think will happen at the WrestleMania card this year. AJ
Um,
Styles and Nakamura is one easily.
yeah, that's a given one. I think that I'm hoping that we get a Triple H versus um, Kurt Angle. I think that would
Yeah,
be pretty
nice.
interesting. I would like to see Daniel Bryan and The Miz go at it, but it seems like that they're going to pair him with Shane McMahon. So I'm not too big of a fan. I think that they're only going to do that so that they're appeasing his ability to wrestle in the ring, but not take high intensity bumps. Like, go 20 miles an hour instead of going 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
to protect him. So that's definitely a match I'd like to see. I want to see Sasha and Bailey go at it, man. I think it's time that we get the legit boss instead of Sasha Banks or Salsa Banks or how whatever everyone keeps calling her. I want to see Nia Jax and Beth Phoenix. I thought that stare down during the Royal Rumble was just completely amazing, and the Glamazon, versus the Irresistible Force, I think is just going to be a hot take. I don't know how you don't make that match happen. And then last but not least, man, and I know this is probably not going to happen, but I would love to see Cedric Alexander go against the king of the cruiserweights. Maybe they get him because he's still under contract, man.
Oh yeah.
So it would be nice to see that match, and maybe after that he can go up to the main roster and stay there, since really that's what his biggest gripe is. So, but those are the matches I would like to see. Goose, what about you?
Same thing. Spot on each and every one of them, with the exception of maybe Ronda Rousey and The Rock versus Triple H and Stephanie. I think, but yeah, spot on for the most part, because I wouldn't mind seeing some things switched up a bit. Or I like the fact that you mentioned the Cruiserweight Classic is going to end at WrestleMania. I thought that was pretty sweet. Other than that, I mean, Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins, we pretty good if that's
Yes.
where it ends.
Well, apparently Jason Jordan is legit injured.
Yeah, I heard.
So
Yeah.
I think that's probably the reason why they took the belts off of them so soon, because I do think that they were going to, at least at the Elimination Chamber, have a match between the two. I mean, it could still happen. I don't necessarily know how severe I think it's his back, that either his back or
Oof.
his leg.
Back,
One of
neck,
the
all that
other,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah, is messed up. So we'll see how that goes. But that storyline seems to be dead in the water, DOA, unfortunately. So
Anything outside the ring happened this week that we haven't touched on?
no, we touched a little bit on it last week about Rich Swann getting exonerated. Um,
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah, that's
so
right.
don't know. I mean, haven't heard any status updates from the WWE, but it might be maybe 2 or 3 months down the road we might be able to see him. Best belief he'll probably job out to everybody, just because of the public opinion or whatnot. But um, I can't really think of anything. I try to
Yeah,
stay
and
away from the dirt sheets, man.
there's just
I'm a
flat out
big
nothing big outside of
yeah.
outside of
No,
the ring this week.
your boy Steve Meltzer gave Johnny Gargano and almost a 5-star rating. So I know you're thrilled about that.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll have to go check out the match.
and apparently they're going to be having a Johnny Gargano is going to fight for the title one more time, and if he loses, he leaves NXT. So we all know what that's going to lead to.
So he won't fight Ciampa?
Sounds like our boy's getting the call up, man.
Oh wow, that's quick.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about that, especially with his wife being down there and whatnot.
Oh yeah, great point. Cancel the race. Yeah, yeah, good point.
Yeah, not that I don't think she belongs down there, but I think you could bring her up. Um, but I would much rather them do like a mixed match challenge. Like if they made that a thing, I would love for that to see them, in that type of match week after week. Which reminds me that the WWE Network has now uploaded that first week of their first round of the mixed match challenge. So if you guys haven't seen any of them, I highly recommend going and watching them. It reminisces like the matches reminisce like house shows, which is pretty awesome. The flip man, Braun and Alexa, bro, they got some great chemistry together, and they were doing some like attitude error esque stuff, man. Alexa telling Braun that she's gonna go all the way.
Oh geez.
Yeah,
Sweet.
man. The look on his face, bro, is just priceless.
Sweet. So I feel like
bro.
there wasn't a lot going on in wrestling this week,
No.
right? I feel
Oh,
like there wasn't too much going on.
no, not. But I do need to make a correction real quick, man. So apparently, SmackDown will be having a pay-per-view 7 weeks from now called
Jeez.
Fastlane.
That's what I thought it was the other day. I was thinking about something. I was talking to my friend, and I thought it was Fastlane. Well, I mean, AJ Styles is going to keep that title for a while, so at least till fighting Nakamura at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
solid week in wrestling. I mean, short week. I mean, we had a solid pay-per-view, and then just the follow-up Raw on SmackDown. Short show this week because there's not a lot to talk about. And your boy Ben Goosen and your boy Sage and Mark had a very busy, very, very busy week. Very busy in our personal lives, but we're not going to leave y'all hanging unless we can't talk, can't walk, can't act, can't dance. Wacky D is in the house. Wacky D is in the house. So, did you want to get it? Should we go ahead and just get into some shout outs this week? Because even though wrestling was slow this week, Twitter had a lot of activity this week.
yeah, yeah, man, we are blowing up.
Yeah,
Like
we were. This
blowing.
was my phone was definitely getting blown up, and I
Yeah.
appreciate our social media manager who remains nameless, but I appreciate whoever is behind our social media management.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. We've already reached halfway through our 2018 goal, and it's only February 1st. So, trying to get that 1,000 followers between now and 2018 before December. And the way things are going, it seems as though that we're on pace to get that. So, with that being said, yeah, let's go ahead and get into some shout outs. No drops for the shout outs tonight, guys. But we'll get some later on down the road for you guys. All right, so we're gonna start off by I'm just probably not go through handles, man. I'm just gonna say names here. So we got Popular, we got Ian, we've got Ferris, we've got Real Dot, we've got the New Plex, Paul Tolley, Faceless Promo, Matthew Richardson, Marcos Rosilio, Brittany Johnson, Dumbwire News Tech, Cody Hagan, who was our winner last week of our contest.
Yep.
We have Unicorn Glitter Bomb. We've got Sabello Nikosi. We've got Art Baru. We've got Leith Gray, Smarty McMarkface. Ooh,
Yeah. What a great
names,
name.
bro.
That was great. That's actually a pretty badass name.
We got the TTR podcast. So y'all go check them out. We've got Mr. Wayne Hayes Esquire. We've got Three Dudes with Attitudes. They too have a podcast. Y'all go check them out at Three Dudes. Y'all look at hashtag IRWP. I'll list them there. We got Cam. We've got Weird Movie Brothers. We've got Oz Marley, Steel Pod Media. We've got Jamel followed us today. Thank you so much, Jamel. We've got Tim. We've got the Gnarly Man at thegnarlyman.com. I just wanted to throw that in there, bro. We've got Beth Bros. We've got the Amateur Analyst. We've got Brandon Green, Ethan, Oleg. We've got B Foxborough. We've got Heeltown, Johnny Wrestling version 2, All Things Wrestling or WWE. We've got Marked Out Media KT. We've got She Hates Wrestling Pod, which is a podcast. I'll go check them out. And then we've got, I can't read Japanese, but their handle is at DE_Generate97. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support and follow us on Twitter. Y'all make sure y'all show us love on YouTube as well. You can find our YouTube handles on our website, irwp.us. Just make sure y'all hit that bell button after you hit the subscribe button on YouTube. So that way you know when we go live, because we never are ever on time. And y'all know why. And I'll just leave it at that, fellas. Back to you, Goose.
Well, everybody, we appreciate y'all listening, and you're damn right. You're damn right. Oh boy, got these hiccups. That's when you know. That's when you know when you do a podcast and you got hiccups. Ugh. So you know it's been a fun week. Other than that, man, yeah, we had a great show today. Thank you for the shout out, Sage. Sage, I got to give you a personal shout out for giving me a ride home last week, making sure your boy Ben Goosen got home safe and full with those burgers and chips that we were munching on all day. Royal Rumble was great. Raw was good. SmackDown was all right. We had a short week in wrestling. Oh man, these hiccups are killing me. It was almost like we had almost like a go home week. But yeah, short week, great week. At the end of the day, a lot of stuff going on in the world. Boy, these hiccups are really going to hamper this podcast. We might lose views.
And don't worry, man. I'll pipe in some reviews and shout out, or some reviews after the credits. So we'll get them going, bro. We got this.
You would think, right? Well, I just ate 15 Tide Pods, so that might be it. That might be a huge chunk of what it is.
Wondering why all that soap was coming out your mouth.
Yeah, no kidding. So, no, I'm just joking, y'all listeners. I ain't eat no goddamn Tide Pods. Listen to the show last week, and you'll know what I mean. Short show this week, but it's because there wasn't a lot going on. At the end of the day, short show, long show, doesn't even matter. We just appreciate you listening. Hey, a lot of stuff going on today. Just love yourself, love wrestling. Hit up the IRWP at irwp.us. You'll find our social media and contact links there. Hit us up anytime, even if you just want to chat or you're going through a rough time. At the end of the day, though, don't keep it gangster. Don't keep it fake. Keep it real.
Keep it real. Long hair, don't care.
Hey, what is up, everybody? We just wanted to let you guys and gals know out there that the thoughts and opinions expressed today are that of the host and that of the IRWP. And you know this is legit. We do this each and every week. This isn't a pre-recording because you can hear the hiccups in my voice, but we appreciate y'all listening. Go ahead and hit up irwp.us. Follow us on Twitter. Hit us up. Thoughts, comments. Hey, go ahead and when you watch on YouTube, hit the notification button so you know when we go live and you can join in with us, or just listen on the audio podcast. Hit us up with comments, likes, and all that wonderful fancy stuff on iTunes, Stitcher, Player FM, Google Play, Google Music, and anywhere you could listen to a popular podcast. Thank you guys, and remember, keep it real.